Hi, it's Sally from Field to Fork here. If you've done any of our other autumn activities, or you've been out in the woods recently, you'll have realised that autumn is a time when there's plenty of seeds to be found. Trees such as this oak tree have spent the summer producing their seeds and are now ready to disperse them. Here, the seeds from the oak tree have been dropped onto the ground, and there's lots to forage for under this tree. You might recognise them as acorns. Animals such as squirrels will gather up these acorns and hide them in food caches for later in the winter when food is scarce. So they will roam far and wide to find suitable places to bury them so that others don't know where they are and won't steal them. If they think they're being watched, they'll even pretend to bury them so that they can fool the thieves. And when they return months later to find them, they have to depend on their sense of smell and their memories to tell them where to find their buried treasures. This is a game for you to play in which you have to imagine that you are squirrels preparing for winter. So you'll be given some acorns. You will hide them where you can find them later. So you can either choose to put them all together in one place, or you can hide them in different caches. Try to choose good hiding places for your acorns where other squirrels won't find them, and remember to fool any that might be watching. So you can use a small stick to dig a hole and pop them in, cover them over with leaves or soil or bits of grass. But remember to notice what's round about and where they are so that you can find them when you're hungry in the middle of winter. As usual, before you go, there are a few things that you should remember. When you're working outdoors like this, it's just as if you were in the classroom, so the same rules apply. Stay within the boundaries that your teacher sets for you. Take care when you're scurrying around that you don't trip over anything loose that's on the ground, like branches and twigs and roots. And we mustn't put anything in our mouth when we're outdoors. After time is up, come together again and move on to another place if possible to do another activity to represent the passing of the weeks and months going into winter. This might be exploring the trees in your local area to find their seeds, which might be contained inside berries or seed cases or pods. You might like to collect some in a container and then use something like an ID chart to tell what they are. Or there's a spotter sheet from the Woodland Trust called Fruit and Seeds Spotter Sheet, which you might like to use and tick off the ones that you find. Remember, as you do so, that although many of these berries and nuts can be eaten, some of them are poisonous and some are just not very nice at all. Trees, of course, are not producing their seeds to feed squirrels or any other animals and birds for that matter. They are producing their seeds to grow into new plants. It is their way of reproducing, and so they want to get their seeds scattered far and wide away from the parent plant so that they have the best chance of reaching the light and nutrients and water that they need to grow into healthy seedlings. So trees use all sorts of cunning methods to do that, and that's why we have such a variety of kinds of seeds. Some are droppers, some are poppers. Some are flyers, others are floaters. Some are grabbers and some are poopers. Can you work out what method each tree that you find uses to disperse their seeds? After a time, return to be squirrels in the middle of winter and try to find your acorn supply as you're now hungry. Can you find them all? What do you think happens to those acorns the squirrels are not able to find? It's in this way that creatures that hoard the seeds like squirrels or mice or jays help the trees to scatter and plant their seeds. These trees are those that produce nuts, so things like the horse chestnut, the beech, the hazel, and of course the oak. You might like to reflect on what it felt like to be a squirrel. What did it feel like when you couldn't find all of your acorns? Did you manage to find them all? What made it easy? What made it difficult? What were the best places to hide them in? What do you think the skills are that a squirrel needs to survive the winter? Squirrels can recognise each other as well as their food by their sense of smell. As well as acorns, they like to eat beech mast, flowers, leaves, buds, fungi, hazelnuts. They might even raid birds' nests for eggs. So have fun this autumn being squirrels and learning about the ingenious ways that trees disperse their seeds. We'll see you again soon.